Take a look at this roster is pretty much through free agency. What do you see?
I actually really like the roster. I'm always a little skittish when you do things like bring them back, because just because it worked for 1 year doesn't mean it's going to work for 2 years. That being said, there's a lot of depth, and that is really, you start to look at this. They're 4 or 5 deep on the defensive line. Linebackers still need some depth, but you probably actually upgraded at middle linebacker. You're deep at corner and safety now because of your young guys coming through, your undrafted guys, your late round picks. And on the offensive side, listen, we all know the conversation resides around Deshaun. And, I actually thought Jameis Winston was a smart play as his backup, but when it comes to the roster, you can't help that Nick Chubb's got the knee and who knows when he'll come back. You can't help that Elijah Moore probably profiles more as a 3, but what they did that I really liked is, if you look at it now, everybody finally has a role in that receiver room. So you've got a 1, that's Amari. Jerry Jeudy, his production is of a 2. Then you've got Elijah, finally, if you just stop trying to use him as a gadget player, is a 3. And then you've got a bunch of depth pieces. And oh, by the way, your tight end's pretty darn good too. So I really like when you can look at this and say, all right, they don't have a Jamar Chase. They don't have a Justin Jefferson. But what they do have is somebody to fill each one of those roles in the wide receiver room. And so even if, God forbid, Deshaun, the shoulder thing flares up or there's more complications, which it doesn't seem like there's going to be, man, I got to tell you, they have a lot of talent. And I think they're at least as talented as they were last year, if not a titch more because of Jerry Jeudy, who, again, I know we want a number 1 receiver. I know we want a guy that's Tyreek Hill. Those guys are tough to get, and the price is exorbitant. So if all he is who he was in Denver, 800 yards a year, 4 or 5 touchdowns, you got a number 2 receiver. It's a success for what you got him. But man, if he kind of finds himself with Deshaun, or even if Jameis ends up having to play, you're trying to quarterback-proof this roster because of the injuries, right? You're trying to treat it as if you had not an inferior, but a non-franchise quarterback. So I think they've done that. And now you can go into the draft and say, well, let's really take this as it comes. If there's a player we love at 54, let's take him. Maybe there's another trade down, to pick up a couple extra picks. Or, I've been a proponent. It wouldn't upset me if they went quarterback in the top 100, given the long-term question marks at that spot because of Deshaun. So I just think they have carte blanche right now to do what they want in the draft, and I think that's a sign of a successful offseason.